Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a couple of goofballs in love that love doing some celebration videos together.
Yes, we do.
And we love celebrating with you all. If you're new to the channel, we celebrate every 5,000 subscribers.
We do. And we are so grateful to all of you who have made it possible for us to now have 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. 20,000 strong for the Definitely Not Definitive community. What we also do is, since we have people in the community from all over the world, we've been doing different cheers in different languages. We nailed the Saúde in Portuguese. We didn't do so good on the Wohlschein in German. We added a T, Wohlstein.
We might have to revisit that one at some point.
Be stoned.
After some practice.
So this one is Australian. It might be a little bit easier for us.
Yeah.
But it's a call and response. So you might, if you're watching this like in the office or something or in school, it might be a little bit awkward because we're going to ask you to respond to us. So the response is you toast by saying, cheers, big ears. And then the response is...
Same goes, big nose.
Okay. So we're going to say the cheers, big ears. You shout out the same goes, big nose. We'll know who does it. All right. So here we go. Cheers, big ears. I think maybe one person did it.
We got someone. I feel confident that we got someone. Ken and I honeymooned in Fiji, and Fiji has a lot of Australians and New Zealanders who honeymoon there, or just vacation
there. Yeah, just because it's not too far from them.
So it was we got to meet a lot of fun Australian people and New Zealand people while we were there. There was also a lot of football going on at that time.
Well, yeah, like they talked about the matches going on. They're like, oh, there's a big match going on tonight, and we're like, we knew nothing about rugby, so they're like, you're from America, right?
Yeah, we stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, handsome.
Yeah,
but then there was also a fight in the hotel bar over a game because I guess it got very heated between Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, it was the World Cup going on for rugby at that time, and so we obviously didn't know what was going on. In addition to this being a celebration, it's also just kind of an appreciation as well. And what we're celebrating is you all, and because you're what makes up this channel, this community, with your positivity, with your enthusiasm for the different franchises we cover, for your knowledge of it, and for geeking out with us.
Thank you so much to everyone who's been engaging with us on YouTube. Ken does a lot of the responses on there, but he shares them all with me. A lot of you have also trickled over to our Instagram page, which is We Are Definitely Not Definitive on Instagram, and I do a lot of the responses on that, so it's been great to kind of see the crossover, and I share all of them with Ken. Some of you have been direct messaging us suggestions or leaving comments on the photos, so thank you so much for that. It's been fun to geek out with you all. I mean,
it has been.
We really are enjoying this.
So thanks to all the new 5,000 subscribers that we have to the community, and the 15,000 that came before them. Thanks for everything you do for this channel and this community.
Thank you.
Now, the heavy fun stuff is off. Let's go to the dark stuff, all right? Let's get into some dark shit. We're going to watch Warhammer 40k, all right? Now, we're not just going to watch all the cinematics for it. We're going to start off with an intro into the Dark Millennium, so we can kind of get a feel for this, a flavor for this before we jump into it,
The Dark Millennium, are they referring to 2020?
So
feels like we just lived through the Dark Millennium, right?
From what I've been told, I guess Total Warhammer, there's two factions or series or whatever of Warhammer, and Total Warhammer is more Lord of the Rings, and Warhammer 40k is more Star Wars. Oh. So we're going into Warhammer 40k, and all right, here we go. It's intro to the Dark Millennium.
I'm excited. That looks very Lord of the Rings.
This is the Star Wars one.
I know, but I'm just
It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor of Mankind has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth.
Emperor of Mankind?
Well, he's trouble.
He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods.
Hell no.
And master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology.
Well, he sounds lovely.
He is the carrion lord of the vast imperium of man, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day, so that he may never truly die.
What the?
Yet even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues mighty battle fleets cross the demon-infested miasma of the warp, the only route between distant stars, their way lit by the Astronomican, the psychic manifestation of the Emperor's will.
Looks like the Taj Mahal on top of it.
Oh.
Vast armies give battle in his name on uncounted worlds. Greatest among his soldiers are the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines,
Started.
bioengineered super warriors. Their comrades in arms are legion. The Imperial Guard and countless planetary defense forces, the ever-vigilant Inquisition and the tech
Who's
priests,
that dude?
the Adeptus Mechanicus, to name only a few.
The floating skull.
But for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat to humanity from aliens, heretics, mutants, and far, far worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim, dark future there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods.
Oh, that was such a great line at the end.
Oh.
The laughing of thirsting gods. Okay, so that's the intro. What do you think so far going into it?
I mean, I'm very into it. It sounds incredibly epic and just like I'm
super complicated, and like there seems like there's so much going on, and I can see why we were told kind of like to start with this one, just trying to kind of like get a little bit of a base knowledge.
help me understand because I'm totally foreign to this. This is a game, right?
Yeah.
How has it not been made into a movie yet? Especially recently with all of the desire for fantasy and escapism that we've seen over the last 5 years. I mean, fantasy has definitely made a resurgence. Even musicals are making a resurgence now, and they said that, like, I remember from film school they talked about how trends in genres go in cycles, and so often people are very into fantasy and musicals when they want escapism, and then when there is sort of a societal trend of fearing the future, that's when things like technology films and sci-fi come up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we've sort of been seeing some more sci-fi creep in more recently. I would probably say like the last 1 or 2 years. So it seems like a very ripe time for something like this to be turned into a movie. Maybe it's too big for a single film. I don't know.
I mean, as an expert in both Warhammer 40k, having just watched this, and in movie studio production, I would say that the reason it hasn't been done yet is, they just couldn't find the right star for the right script. There's a lot of ins and outs, a lot of what have yous and whatnot, and I don't want to get bogged down with semantics, but I am a terrible liar.
A little bit, baby. A little bit.
All right, so now we're going to dive into the Warhammer 40k cinematics.
Here we go.
I like the music.
I like the opening quote. Really sets the tone.
In darkness,
It's like falling.
Or ash.
I shall be light. In times of doubt, I shall keep faith.
Oh my god.
In throes of rage, I shall hone my craft.
Who's that?
Impressive.
In vengeance, I shall have no mercy. In the midst
Bigger
of
machine.
battle, I shall have no fear. In the face of death, I shall have no remorse.
So much for that guy.
Yeah.
So it's raining ash from the sky? I mean, from the clouds? Like, so.
Or was it
For
raining
10,000
bodies?
years, the Emperor's Inquisition have fought a secret war to defend humanity. We keep vigil in the darkness. We hunt among the shadows. We pass judgment upon the mutant, the traitor, the heretic. We purge the world of the taint left among the stars. We are inquisitors. We shall fear nothing. We are what you fear.
Oh, nice.
The universe is infinite and deadly. Beyond the veil lies only corruption. Far from the guiding light of the God Emperor, torn apart by the foul tempest that distort reality.
Look at all that
The veil
detail.
shreds open, and madness gushes through.
Lots of skulls.
My sacred duty is to keep vigil here, in the darkness that hides tainted worlds and terrible secrets. I will purge the unclean and raise their nests. I will not hesitate to enter our once proud bastions, now sanctuaries of the wicked and the alien.
Work blessed by the Emperor.
This is a haven for the heretic and the corrupted. But I will cleanse the abandoned halls. I will face what's lurking among the shadows. I am an inquisitor. I shall fear nothing. For I am what you fear.
That music has a real Star Wars feel right now.
Getting a horror vibe right now.
Little aliens flashback. Oh, good lord.
So is this shit where now all human civilization lives?
So it would seem. A little bit of a Matrix flashback here. I mean, I haven't seen Earth yet.
Weren't they on Earth in the first one? Or I don't know where they were. Nice. That's cool.
All right then. I want to know what their tattoos mean.
Hmm.
What is that thing?
I don't know. There are definitely some creatures in this like I haven't seen in other fantasy stuff.
So is this a vision of his? Inquisitor Martyr. Huh.
Okay.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day the crude biomass that you call the temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved. For the machine is immortal.
Dude, like, turn down the game so I can understand what you're saying. Seriously, it felt like, you know, at that time he was like, that's like, oh, we're gonna make this sound really cool, and like we're gonna put like a lot of like gain distortion on it, and like, you know, some reverb, and it's like, come on.
There was distortion and it was definitely very deep, but I think I got most of it.
I'm just hard of hearing, I guess.
No matter how strong, they shall fall before
All right, that's like more familiar with orc types.
And there's also a character in Star Wars very much like them.
Oh yeah. And, okay, so this is like the gameplay more.
Okay.
It's like chess.
Cool.
Nice.
So it's like wizard's chess, but sci-fi style.
themselves here face annihilation. But the battle is not over. Some have cheated the grave. A new champion enters the throne. And death is his to command.
Death is his command. That's a cool line.
His last stand begins now.
It was just the one video that I had trouble hearing.
This was very much like it, so I was wondering if you would.
No. This was not like the other one.
Okay. I said okay.
Right, you said okay.
Mortals are coming. This planet will be ours.
You lost this war before you started, fool.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Primary threat spotted. Moving into position. Neutralize it.
No, you're not. Oh, who are they?
Their screaming reminds me of what was that freaky show we watched on HBO with the screaming robot thing?
It's Ridley Scott's thing.
Yep. But does that scream sound the same?
Mm-hmm.
Is there an assassin in this?
Not anymore. Eh? Oh, that's my favorite character. Yeah. The Coneheads.
I really hope they have a more badass name than that.
They're not doing so well.
Not at the moment, no. See, I think she's my favorite.
Well, she's Queen of the Coneheads.
Oh, you bastard!
She was.
This planet is ours, witch.
No. This planet is theirs.
Oh! Raised by wolves, that's what it is.
There it is. Good job, bud.
I am Gabriel Angelos, captain of the Blood Ravens. My chapter is in ruins. The sector is at war.
Thanks.
Its worlds under siege. Chaos spreads.
Ooh, you did like a cowboy. Cowgirl, I should say.
Here we will make our final stand. Here there will be retribution.
Yeah, that guy just sounds like a pretentious douche. I'm sorry. You just did. There's just something in the tone of his voice. Baptized in fire.
And just that. Okay. This is more my kind of gameplay.
Yeah. Then like the chess.
I'm terrible at chess. Space Marine. Okay.
All right. What came out next? The Startes. That's like one of the ones that people have talked about a lot. Like one guy did this entire kind of like fan-made trailer for Warhammer, and he did so well that he got like picked up by like the whatever company makes Warhammer and like to like work for them.
Good for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations, buddy.
And so we wanted to actually get into Warhammer 40k before we kind of get into that one, but that's you know, it's on our list. That's what we say.
Our list is quite long, but we're working on it.
Yes. All right. So what do you think?
I'm fascinated. So I was kind of found myself cheering for the red-headed harpy witch people probably the most.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm supposed to be cheering for them.
No, we're supposed to be cheering for the humans, I guess, but like I don't know, there's something about them like being in those like I don't know, big robot suits. It's just
the intro had me feeling really bad for humanity and very empathetic with them. The intro video that we did.
The intro to the Dark Millennium.
Yeah, but then in the actual gameplay, with their big suits, I think it gave the impression of them being just so heavily armored and protected. I felt less concerned with their vulnerability.
Okay.
And then the red-headed harpy witch people, and I'm sorry because I'm not familiar with all the different.
No, that's what they're called, red-headed harpy witch people.
They seem to have more like almost medieval or even Lord of the Rings elvish type armor, so they appeared more vulnerable to me. So when like the humans come at them with their like chainsaws, I'm like, wow, you guys suck.
I think not only did I like them the best, but I think also maybe the first trailer and that trailer, the one with the redheaded harpy woman, which
well, he called her a witch, but I like redheaded harpy better.
Redheaded harpy. Sorry.
If I were making the name, she'd be the redheaded harpy.
All right, we can submit
at least until we know the proper names, which obviously we don't right now.
But I think that was probably those two were my favorite trailers, and because I loved the twist there when she's like it's not our planet, it's theirs, and you know, it didn't do the reveal right away. You're looking up at the sky, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, and then it creeps up behind.
Yes.
Oh, that was very rewarding.
Yeah.
As an audience member. I also have to say, like, from the intro
to the Dark Millennium.
Yes, intro to the Dark Millennium. I got a very, like, steampunk vibe from this. And I know that there is sort of a community of steampunk fans, and there's a lot of cosplay for steampunk and things like that. So it made me think, God, if they could do this and do this well as a movie, we might get our first ever well done steampunk movie, because there have been a couple ones in the past that they've tried that just have never really they've never done well. There was one about like the chicks in the mental hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the same one I was thinking about.
The one that did the best was Wild Wild West, of course, with Will Smith. That had elements.
Did that do the best though? Did it?
Of the steampunk movies I know of, that did the best, but that's still not saying a lot. It got great talent. I mean, Will Smith and Kevin Kline and Salma Hayek.
That was my problem. I think that this, you know, they needed better voice actors and better.
Well, I was very impressed with the intro one.
The intro to the Dark Millennium one was great.
And then the female one. Those two stuck out to me as being like, oh, I'm in.
I agree. The intro to the Dark Millennium had like a Vincent Price. I was like, man, if Vincent Price was still alive today, he'd be doing this right now. And so like that's what that kind of vibe gave to me. And yeah, the female voiceover was good. But a couple of other ones, it just kind of felt a little bit like forced and pushed and just not. I mean, it kind of sucked me out of it a little bit.
It felt like people who were trying to force a gravitas that they didn't have, whereas like the guy and the girl that we just talked about naturally brought that gravitas to the story.
Yeah. So whoever's making these Warhammer trailers, spend a little bit more extra money and get some of those, like some better.
You need some gravitas.
That's
all I'm saying.
Yeah, just put that in the description for the actors. Actor needed. Gravitas, a must.
I mean, you know, get like an Anthony Hopkins, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett. They have gravitas.
Couple $100. That's all it'll cost you.
This is the world that you want to work in. Might cost a little extra, but
yeah, it'll be fine.
You know, that's what you need. And the woman just I kept thinking of Galadriel doing the voiceover for Lord of the Rings when I heard, like, she brought that same
You
vocal
think everything's
presence.
Lord of the Rings.
I was seeing different parts. Like, there was one point where, like, the things were creeping up out of the shadows that I almost got, like, a Jurassic Park feel.
Okay.
And then the red siren going off gave me the feel of Aliens.
Yeah.
I definitely got the Lord of the Ring elements at some point, especially with the intro to Warhammer video. But then Star Wars, very much so at the various points, especially like when they talked about the Space Marines. I was seeing a lot of different genres and like movies I'd grown up with, like the feel of them in this. And then I was thinking, God, this is brilliant. Like, if you can just make a movie that encompasses all of those kind of iconic genre film feels, then, I mean, that would be a winner.
This was obviously not all the cinematics. I mean, there's no way. We never, ever get... Our For Honor one was supposed to be all the cinematics. It wasn't all the cinematics. It wasn't all in order. Never happened. One of these days, somebody, maybe you, yeah, you, I'm talking to you, make that compilation video that is actually accurate. So, you know, a couple of jokers like us that know nothing about anything can, you know, pick the right video.
Which means you probably also need a time machine to make sure that after you make your complete compilation video of all the cinematic trailers, nobody releases a new one with a new video game in the future. Because that never happens.
Debbie Downer.
I'm just saying, before you go out there and you know, berate the people who put together the compilation.
I'm not berating anybody.
I'm gonna give them a chance at saying they didn't intentionally mislead us. It was simply that maybe something got made.
The For Honor person like missed like one of the first ones in the whole series, and they put everything out of order. But it's okay. It's okay. Hey, you know what? We didn't make any compilations.
And
We
now
didn't
we're
make any
back to him
compilations.
not talking.
Compilations.
You know you're in
so
a good
we can't.
video when Ken starts getting tongue-tied.
Yeah, so we, you know, I mean, who are we to criticize anybody? You know, it's not criticizing, it's just imploring anybody else that wants to, you know, make some cool edits. We love that the fact that you share videos with us and links
Yes.
to videos, which ones to watch.
Yes.
You know, that's the reason we knew to do the whole intro to the Dark Millennium before Warhammer 40k. It's because of, you know, all of you all letting us know, like, you know, queuing us in.
That was a great recommendation, so thank you very much. Especially for somebody who knew nothing about this franchise, it was very helpful.
Yeah, I knew nothing about this franchise either. I still feel like I know nothing about this franchise even after having watched that. I think I know a little bit about it, but it's just, I can see why there's so much going on there, and it's so just like a rabbit hole you can just go down, and we are fine going down that rabbit hole.
It feels very, like I said earlier, it feels very epic. It feels huge. Like, I feel like what we just saw, you could do to Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and it doesn't even scratch the surface of the world that those things actually live in. I mean, for example, we could geek out about Game of Thrones for over an hour talking about the different houses and the intricate relationships and the histories and the power dynamics. And, you know, I feel like this world has that. I think, to me, the most interesting trailer was the intro, just because there's an emperor of humanity. Like, I'm sorry, who the hell is this guy? How did he get, like, I was just instantly very, like, I had a very visceral response to that. Yeah, sure, baby, it's you.
Yeah. I am putting my name in the hat. My hat and the name in the hat.
I'd like to point out that he is ruled by a 3-pound Papillon dog.
Yeah, that's not the line. Yeah, I'm very low on the totem pole in my house.
None of us are above the 3-pound dog, if we're honest.
No, not at all.
I had a very visceral response, like, this guy on a throne, he's the emperor of humanity, and he rules over humans, and it's a never ending. I mean, I just had this, like, who the F is this guy? Like, I was instantly very, very angry at whoever this person was who presumed they could be the emperor of humanity. So for me, I'm so fascinated by what's the history there. Like, how did this guy come into power? Who the hell made him God? And, you know, that was where I was like, I want to know more about this world, and it was that intro that really did it.
And so I think that, like, this is probably, like, maybe the longest discussion we've had, like, post a trailer reaction, and I think that it's just, that's why we need you all to tell us more about what's going on if you still are watching this right now. I want other videos, like, more to kind of, like, get a better grasp on what's going on. And is the gameplay more the chess style, or is the gameplay more the last video that we saw? I have so many questions, and I don't have enough answers, so we're relying on you all.
Yeah, definitely. Please tell us. I love that you've pointed this out to us. I'm hugely interested, and I have a million questions, as you've already heard. I've like listed half of them throughout this video, but please share your knowledge with us. I'm very intrigued on the history here.
You've seen our reaction. Oh, yeah, I gotta wait till she is, because she's got this going on.
I'm good.
Anyways, you've seen our reaction to the intro to the Dark Millennium and Warhammer 40k, all the cinematic trailers, but
Keep in mind, it's definitely not definitive.